Good morning, dear students. Chapter 1 Crop Production and Management I have completed, and today I will start chapter 2, and name of the chapter 2 is the Microorganisms Friend and Foe. Listen to microorganisms friend and foe. Friend and foe. Second chapter is the microorganisms friend and foe. Today I will start with the introduction. So introduction. You have studied about the following plants in earlier classes, and you know that about the plants, they have roots, they have stems, they have leaves, they have flowers, they have fruits, and they have seeds. And you know that they are green in color. And they make food for all animals. And you have seen mushroom during the rainy seasons in the gardens. They are also plants, but they are not green. Mushroom you can see, most probably mushroom you can see during the rainy season, but they are not green in color, they are white in color. There are examples in which plants are quite big and can be seen with the naked eye. Is it true for all living things? Are there any other types of living things which cannot be seen with the naked eye? Let us perform the following activities to find answer the above questions. All living things, it is true or false, we can see through the naked eyes, or we can see through the microorganisms. So I will perform activity 2.1 and then I will tell you it is true or false. So collect some water in a beaker from a nearby pond. From the nearby pond you will collect some water and then pass it through a piece of fine cloth. Then you will find some soil and small organism like insects and larvae sticking to the cloth. The filtered water collected after passing through the cloth looks fairly clean. Now let us examine this water by putting a drop of water on a glass slide and looking through the microscope. What do you see? You will see many organisms, and these organisms could not be seen with the naked eye. You can't see with the naked eye. Only with the help of microorganisms you can see these organisms, because microscopic organism we can't see through the naked eye. With the help of microorganisms only we can see the microorganisms. With the help of microscope we can see. Activity 2.2. Thoroughly moisten piece of bread with water and keep the bread in air for a day or two. Then keep the piece of bread for 3 to 4 more days in a warm place. What happens after 4 to 5 days? Then you will see that bread gets covered with grayish white patches. Examine these patches under a microscope. You will see tiny black rounded structures growing on thin stalks from the bread. When you have to take the bread piece, this is the piece of bread, and we have to moisten with, sprinkle some water on the bread. And when you will see that after 4 to 5 days, white patches form on the bread, then you will see that when you will examine these patches under a microscope, then you will see here teeny black dots and rounded structure growing on the thin slices of bread. And after that, what you will observe? You will observe here, this is the microorganisms, and in same turn we have to perform activity 2.3. Collect some moist soil from the garden and prepare an agar plate by pouring a hot solution of the chemical agar on a petri dish. Then let it cool. After some time, as it cools, the agar solution thickens and solidifies, and after that spread some garden soil on this plate and leave the plate in a warm place for 2 to 3 days. You will see some patches developing on the agar, and now when I will pick a small piece of this patch and observe it under a microscope, again you will note some organisms growing on the agar plate. So these are the activities. According to the activity 1, 2 and 3, you have seen some, you can draw some conclusion from these activities. These activities point to one conclusion, that the water, air and soil around us are all full of living organisms. Whether it is soil, water, air, they are full with microorganisms. They are full with, we can say that, living organisms, and these organisms are very small. We can't see with the naked eyes, we can see with the help of microscope. And these organisms, because due to very small size, we can't see with the naked eyes, we can see with the help of microscope. And in fact, 300 years ago, a Dutch storekeeper, Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, had discovered this new word, and he found this new word all around him in his native city of Delhi, of Delft, and the word he discovered was the word of living creatures that are present everywhere but are too small to be seen with the naked eye. Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, they observed the microorganism and they have given the name microorganisms. Leeuwenhoek carefully drew and described everything he saw. From his records, scientists knew that he saw bacteria, fungi and many other teeny creatures. They are the microorganisms. Through small, these creatures are very important to the human beings. These creatures, whether it is virus, these are the virus, bacteria and fungi, they are the microorganisms. They are the microorganisms. We can't see with the naked eyes. Such tiny organisms are found all around us, in floating in air and in water, moving about in the soil and on plants, inside our bodies, and those of all animals. Microorganisms are present in our inside our body and in floating water and in air. Some cause diseases and sometimes it called the germs. Sometimes it called germs, and most are harmless. And today scientists call these small living things are microbes or microorganisms. Most microorganisms, you know that it is very small, and with the aid of a magnifying glass or a microscope we can see. The scientists who study microorganisms are called the microbiologist. 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 Those who study the microorganism, they are called the field of study is called the microbiology, and the scientists who study microorganisms are called the microbiologist. Microbiologist. You can see that they are called the microbiologist. Microbiologist. You can see that they are called the microbiologist, and the field of study is called the microbiology, and the field of study is called the microbiology. And now, so till here what I told in this chapter, I told you about the microorganisms. Microorganisms are present in the, when you will see around you, then you can in floating water, in air, inside our body. Microorganisms are present, but we can't see with the naked eyes because they are very small living creatures. We can't see with the naked eyes. Only with the help of microscope we can see the microorganisms. And you can see that 3 activities I told you, and according to the basis of these 3 activities, it is proved that they are very small living creatures. With the help of microscope only we can see, and virus, bacteria, fungi are the microorganism. These microorganisms, with the help of microscope only we can see. And the scientists who study the microorganisms, are called the microbiologist, and the field of study is called the microbiology. The field of study is called the microbiology, and those scientists who studied about the microorganisms are called the microbiologists, and the field of study of the microorganisms are called the microbiology. Under the microbiology we are studying about the microorganisms. So I think all of you understood about the microorganisms, and some microorganisms are very important for us, and some microorganisms are harmful, some are beneficial. So in next topic we will discuss about the some harmful microorganism and some useful microorganisms. So till here all of you take revision.